In today's video, I'm going to be discussing whether I think that Kamala Harris or Donald Trump will win the next election. I'm going to make my predictions here. And as you know, guys, most of my predictions have come true if you look at all my previous videos. I'm going to make a very detailed analysis and prediction, and I'll explain why I came to my final conclusion. And before I do that, let's talk a bit about the latest news. So Donald Trump today basically threatened Iran. He said he's going to blow Iran to smithereens. So not sure if he means blowing up Iran in terms of using nuclear weapons or destroying it like Israel's destroying Gaza. Either way, he says he's going to blow up Iran to smithereens. Here's a clip if anyone hasn't seen this before.
The threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens. You can't do that. And there would be no more threats.
So you can see, guys, first of all, it's quite funny because when he was talking about becoming the next president of the United States, he always said that he never started any wars while he was president. He's a peacetime president. He always looks for peace first and stuff. And before he even becomes a president again for the second time, he's already talking about wiping Iran off the map or blowing it up into smithereens, blowing his biggest cities in Iran. And this is a guy who's looking to get votes from the American people. And his first point of call is talking about another war, starting another war in the Middle East, blowing up another country. And it's just crazy. I mean, don't the Americans have enough of fighting wars in the Middle East? Come on, I mean, what's going on here? And you can hear his supporters in the background cheering him on, saying, yeah, blow Iran up. And this guy, he came on a few times and said that, going into Iraq was a mistake. America fighting in Ukraine, helping Ukraine is a mistake. He's going to pull the troops out and stuff. It's just double standards. He says one thing and it means another. I think what his plan is, or this is what I think. This is what I think, guys. I think his plan is to pull out of Ukraine. So pull support from Ukraine. That frees American money, and he's going to probably put it all into Israel so Israel can finish whatever job they've wanted to finish. And I'm talking about Israel's Greater Israel plan. Greater Israel is taking parts of, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, and taking complete control over Gaza and West Bank, annexing, Palestine completely, and they want to become their Greater Israel, and I think that's what the plan is. If you don't believe me, I mean, you can see how Donald Trump is basically simping for Israel.
Is a tiny little spot compared to these giant land masses. It's really a tiny spot. I actually said, is there any way of getting more? It's so tiny. Israel is again greater than ever before. So I say 47 days from now we're going to defeat Kamala Harris. You have to defeat Kamala Harris. More than any other people on earth, Israel, I believe, has to defeat her. You know that? And I've never said this before. I'm thinking, Miriam, more than any people on earth, Israel has to defeat her. I really believe that it's a disaster for Israel. And you know why, and you've heard her statements. We're going to take back our country. and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're
So why is Trump simping so bad for Israel? Number one, he wants Israeli cash for his presidency, because running to be president costs a lot of money. We're talking hundreds of millions, and she's got the cash. She's a Zionist billionaire. Her late husband was a billionaire. He passed away, so all his money ended up with her, and now she's using these funds to basically dictate U.S. policy. So she's giving the money to Trump, and in return, she wants the West Bank to be annexed to Israel, and that's the deal. Trump has done it before. He's apparently given away Golan Heights to Israel, even though Golan Heights were not his to give away, but apparently he gave it away. And he also gave away Jerusalem to Israel as well. He basically built a US embassy in Jerusalem, and even the previous presidents wouldn't dare to do that, but he did it. So you can see he's kind of simping for Israel a lot. And when he first became president, in his first time he got elected, his slogan was "Make America Great Again" and "America First." I don't know if you guys remember that. And it was great and everyone bought it. Everyone thought, yeah, we need to make America great again and America first. And even I agreed with him. And, I always said, Trump would win because he's 100% right. America has been off for a number of years, going off the rails in its foreign policy and in its local policies. And you can see by the amount of people who are homeless, the amount of people going into poverty, people working paycheck to paycheck. Americans' empire was going down. Compare it to in its heights, in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, even 90s. So I completely agreed with him that America needs to come first and America first policy. So no matter what you thought about him, you had to agree that some of his policies were spot on. However, this time he's talking about make Israel great again, and he's putting Israel first in his policy statements, and I think it's just an own goal, to be honest, guys. I just do not think that people in America will buy it. People in America have got a reputation of being, they've got a reputation of not knowing much about what's happening outside America. If you ask them where Ukraine is on the map or Israel is on the map, most of them wouldn't be able to tell you. However, you don't really give them enough credit. And recently I've realized that a lot more Americans actually is more switched on than they used to be. This is because they cannot control the media like they once did. There was once upon a time when Fox News, CNN used to be the main news source for every single American, and they used to buy it. However, things have changed now, and I've noticed a lot more Americans have given up on CNN and Fox News because they've been lied to, and they know they've been lied to, throughout, Iraq wars and all Vietnam and even COVID. And people in America are sick of it. Now they're going to alternative media, things like X and even TikTok. And people are waking up. People are finding out the truth, and they know they've been lied to. And I think there's going to be a massive surprise in this election, really. And everyone, I'm not supporting Kamala Harris by any means, not by any means. I mean, Kamala Harris is probably even worse than Biden. I mean, she is absolutely ridiculous. There is literally one working brain cell. However, I just think that Trump, with the powers that be, I just don't think that he would be in power. I just don't. I think Kamala Harris would win, and this is why. Yeah, looks like Trump is going to get the support of Israel by the sounds of it. But look at how many Jewish people there are in America. We're talking about 0.2% of the population or something. However, they have all the power. All the Jews have all the power. I mean, you look at Biden's administration. 2/3 of the administration are either Jewish or they are affiliated with the Jew. And if you look at Congress, most are paid by AIPAC. Nearly 98% of them are paid by AIPAC in one way or another. So the whole Congress and administration is all pretty much Jewish. All the major companies that run America are Jewish. We're talking about BlackRock, Larry Fink is Jew. Disney, you got Bob Iger is Jew. You got Vanguard is owned by a Jew. Even Oracle guy is owned by a Jew. Even the social media, Mark Zuckerberg, Jew, and there's a huge list of companies, and even porn companies are owned by Jews as well. They've got their hand in every single part of American culture and American way of life. Every single cookie jar they've got their hand in. So they have a lot of power. They have a lot of power. They're pretty much taken over America right now. And the powers that be, or look, I'm not saying all the Jews have got all the power. There are other people in power as well. There's certainly there's a lot of neocons as well, but they are pretty much go hand in hand. But those who own the money, they have all the power. I mean, the Fed is pretty much Jewish made. If you look at the history of how the Fed was created, and the original people who created the Fed were Jews, and Janet Yellen is a Jew, and Jerome Powell's boss, she's a Jew. So they pretty much run the Fed, the banking system, everything. And you look at the world power today, they have a lot of power. I mean, these Jewish guys, they got a lot of power. I mean, they managed to put, Millie in charge of Argentina just in time for him to leave BRICS. Right, because for them, they needed someone to come in and disrupt the BRICS. So they put him in charge just in time, and guess what? The first country he goes to is Israel, and he's converted to Judaism and is crying on that Wailing Wall, and immediately, what does he do when he comes into power? He leaves the BRICS. He starts talking bad about China, saying, "Oh, I will never, work with the communists," and all these rhetoric is being given. At this time, China had really good relationships with, Argentina. They basically were buying lots of Argentinian, agriculture and other stuff as well. But things changed because they found out there's a huge amount of lithium in Argentina. So even Elon Musk is getting into the act, and they found that they need to get regime change in Argentina and get hold of that lithium. So what does Milei do? First of all, he basically sells all of Argentina's assets, including the lithium mines, to American companies. So this is how you basically take over a country. You put a puppet in place and you let him sell all your assets, and Argentina will pretty much going to be destroyed for the rest of their lives because of this. Another country they got involved in is Netherlands. Out of nowhere, suddenly a Netherlands leader comes in, and guess what? He's a Jew as well. He's Jewish. And why is Netherlands important? Because the Netherlands is the only country with ASML EUV machines, and they need to stop EUV machines to be sold to China, and also DUV machines as well. So they needed a puppet in place to stop that from happening. So that's why this Jewish guy comes in from nowhere, and suddenly he tells ASML to stop, selling DUV machines, EUV machines to China. I mean, yeah, you can say that the previous guy was also doing the same thing as well, stopping the EUV and DUV machines to be sold. But this new guy, he's put even more restrictions in as well. He's put even much more. The previous guy stopped EUV machines from going in, but the new guy is also stopping the DUV machines going in. He also wants to stop ASML from servicing these ASML machines that they've already sold to China, servicing them. He wants them to, basically break down and stop the guarantee. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and ASML have also threatened to leave Holland as well if this keeps on happening. But there's a lot of backwards and forwards going on. They have also been coupping other countries around the world. They have couped Pakistan as well, if you remember Imran Khan, because he went to Russia on the eve of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine. And Imran Khan was also very close to China, and there was a lot of Belt and Road projects going on in Pakistan. And also Imran Khan spoke out against Israel's crimes in Palestine. So he had to go, so they got rid of him. So the next person they couped is in Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina, she was very friendly with the Chinese. There's lots of Belt and Roads, projects happening in Bangladesh. She was very close to Russia as well. Russia was building a nuclear power plant in Bangladesh, believe it or not. It would have been Bangladesh's first nuclear power plant. And guess what? They had to get rid of her, and they couped her as well, and they got rid of her. They're trying to coup the Brazil leadership. Even Elon Musk is on it. If you guys are on X, you can see Elon Musk is very much part of the team to coup, Brazil as well. So they're at it all over the world, guys. These people in power, if they don't like someone, they get rid of them, as soon as possible. And that's the power of democracy. When you as a country are in a democracy, you have no sovereignty basically. So they've also done the same thing to Philippines. Marcos Bing Bong, Marcos, the son of a tyrant. They put him in charge, and now he's causing all sorts of trouble against the Chinese in the South China Sea, and they put him in charge just in time, for him to do that. They've done it in Japan. They've done it everywhere. Everywhere they feel like they need a regime change, they've done it. And the people they cannot regime change, they either get them killed, like Gaddafi, or forcibly try and get rid of them, like Assad. They're trying, or they'll start a war with you, like with Saddam. And they're also doing the same thing with Putin, and they're also going to be trying it with China as well. So this is how they work, guys. If they don't like you, they'll try and overthrow you, or they're trying to have wars with you, or they'll try and kill you, assassinate you. And even the Iranian leader had an accident, but many think he was assassinated. They could have easily done it. You've seen how these walkie-talkies can be weaponized, right? Pages can be weaponized. He could have had a device with him, and that could have blown up, in the helicopter, and that helicopter could have been taken down. So you got to have an open mind about everything that's happening. So going back to this election. So this is my prediction, guys. It's going to be very close. I'm not going to say it's going to be, it's going to be like a one way or another. I think it's going to be very close. So this is my prediction. I think there's going to be a lot of Americans are not going to vote for either Trump or Harris because they don't like either of them. They know both of them are pro-Zionists and they've been taken over by Zionists, and it's going to be Israel first for both presidents. Whoever comes in power, they're going to favor Israel. I mean, today Israel has got 8.7 billion more money coming in from the American taxpayers. So the total is going to be 50 billion since October 7th Israel has received in terms of money in 1 year. And that's going to probably increase as longer, as this war progresses into Lebanon and stuff. So I think there's going to be a lot of Americans that are not going to vote for either Trump or Harris. I think they're going to either not vote, not turn up in the ballots, or they're going to vote for somebody else like Jill Stein or something. I think there's a lot of Americans that are going to do that. Kamala Harris is going to get a lot of female votes, mainly because of her abortion, stuff. So she's going to get a lot of female votes. She's also going to get a lot of liberals. These liberals, wokes, these wokesters, and lots of liberal women, and even lots of the gay population will probably vote for Kamala because she's more friendlier to that, woke minded people rather than the Republicans. Republicans are very, you would say, anti-woke, especially with some of the laws that they're passing. So she's going to get lots of the woke people. She's also going to get a lot of women. She's probably going to get more of the Gen Z as well. Mainly because she's younger than Trump, and I think the Gen Z will probably vote for a woman. They probably, and also she's not been, if you notice, she's not been vocal like Trump. Trump is out here simping for Israel. He's saying Israel is great again. He's saying, let's start a war with Iran. He's saying all the wrong things, really. This is not going to cater well for the American people. American people are tired of war. American people are tired of Israel running their foreign policy, giving money to Israel while their lives are suffering. They want a president who's America first. And I just don't think Trump is America first anymore. I just don't think he is. I think he's Israel first, and he's bought. He's bought by the Israelis, and I think a lot of Americans will see that. So he will get a lot of votes. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be very close. And I think if a lot of people do not vote for either Trump or Harris, I think Harris will probably win it, mainly because of the female votes and also the liberals, the wokes, and the gay communities and the black community as well. And I think there's going to be a lot of how would you say, the South American voters, they'll probably vote for Harris as well. And I think a lot of people and look, even if Trump wins, I think there might be some sort of dodgy stuff happening. If you think about it, the people who are in charge, who are really in charge, and I'm talking about the neocons, the Jews, the Rothschilds, the major people that are way above our pay grade. I think they would prefer Harris because she's a lot more safer. she's a lot more. She can be more puppeted like Biden. They can tell her what to do and she will do it. Trump, on the other hand, he's a lot more like a wild card. You can't be sure if you can control him. He's a loaded gun. He's like giving a gun to a child. You don't know. You cannot control him, even though he's saying the right stuff for the neocons and stuff. I think they've seen what he can do when he was in power, and I think he's too much of a wild card. And this is why they're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to assassinate him, and they're blaming it on Iran, and he's falling for it, saying, "Oh, Iran's trying to assassinate me." Come on, nobody believes Iran's trying to assassinate Trump. I mean, why would they? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't matter who becomes president for Iran; it's still the same policy. Has Biden taken away the JCPOA? No, he hasn't. He's still kept it in. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense why Iran would do it, and Iran's got no interest in American politics, to be honest. And I just, even if Harris doesn't win it fair and square, and even if Trump does kind of win, I just don't think he will be allowed to win. Maybe they'll mess around with those results and give it to Kamala. Something similar to how Biden won, even though everyone thought that Trump was going to win in the last election. So, and the other thing is whether Trump is going to be alive by the time election comes. I mean, two times they've tried to take his life. Once, obviously, this guy missed and shot his ear, and the second one was in a golfing, when Trump was golfing, they found a guy hiding in the bushes, and so two times they tried to assassinate him. But who knows? It could be a third time lucky, maybe not. So we'll see. But my prediction is Harris either way, and I think for the people in charge, I think she is the safer bet, and the American people will probably vote for Harris anyway, based on these facts, and I just think she will nick it, but just by the skin of her teeth. Now, I'm not saying she's going to be overwhelming victory. I think it's going to be very, very close. But if Trump wins, well, yeah, fair game. I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you my predictions, guys. I'm not a fortune teller, right? I'm just making a decision based on the information I have. I just think, based on the information, I think Kamala's gonna win. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.